Hi, this is Shinobi Bench. Today I'd like to talk a bit about my current situation. I've hit a serious case of overtraining. On May 10th, 2025, I hit a new max of 162.5 kilograms. But as of June 14th, I've only managed 2 proper training sessions since then. I did one session on May 12th. I had planned to do 130 kilograms for 8 reps, 3 sets, but I ended up doing 8 reps for 1 set and 5 reps for 2 sets. That itself wasn't a big deal. But that night I came down with a fever around 37.5 degrees Celsius and ended up bedridden for about 2 days. At that point, I started thinking, maybe I pushed myself too hard lately. So I took another full week off. A week later, I attempted 130 kilograms for 5 reps, 3 sets. I managed to complete it, but again, that night I came down with a fever around 37.3 to 37.5 degrees Celsius and had another 2 days of being sick. The most recent session was on June 3rd. I was feeling much better and felt recovered, so I thought I should be good to go. I worked up to a single at 120 kilograms, starting from 20 kilograms. In my case, 120 kilograms is a relatively light weight. That's a weight I normally use for 10 rep sets. But just after doing that single rep, again, I came down with a 37.5 degrees Celsius fever that night. This time it only lasted 1 day, and the symptoms weren't as bad. Still, this marked the 3rd time in a row that I got sick the night after training. I also started experiencing nerve pain, especially from the spot where the bar sits in my grip, running up to the shoulder. It's painful just to touch it. And since June 5th up to June 14th, I've had nosebleeds whenever I bend over or brace hard. I'm not sure if that's directly related to overtraining, but I've never had nosebleeds in my life unless I took a hit to the nose. So it feels like it may be connected somehow. At this point, I really feel like something's wrong. Even though I feel like I'm recovering, the moment I lift weights, my body rejects it. I get fevers, nerve pain, nosebleeds. I can't help but think this is overtraining. My personal definition of overtraining includes extreme fatigue, a 10% or more drop in strength, elevated resting heart rate, inability to sleep at night. In this case, I'm experiencing extreme fatigue and fever. I couldn't even open a can, meaning I've lost strength and can't exert force. My resting heart rate has gone up by about 10 beats, and I've had sleep disturbances, waking up after 2 hours and not being able to sleep again, which makes me sleepy during the day. I suspect this may be due to the sympathetic nervous system staying overly active, preventing a switch to the parasympathetic system. Taking all of this into account, the symptoms are very similar to what's called overtraining syndrome, so I thought I should share my experience in this video. Looking back at my training over the last few months, from around March, I was training exclusively with a raised glutes, butt lifted form. From early March to April, I increased my glutes up max from 160 kilograms to 170 kilograms. Then I switched to power form and increased from 155 kilograms to 162.5 kilograms. As for volume sets, I started doing 10 rep sets from 110 kilograms and improved from a max of 122.5 kilograms for 10 reps to 127.5 kilograms for 3 sets, and even managed 130 kilograms for a 10 rep set. Honestly, I pushed myself quite a lot. From 125 kilograms, 10 reps, 3 sets, it already felt brutal. I felt like throwing up toward the end. Still, I pushed to 125 kilograms, 127.5 kilograms, and then 130 kilograms. After that phase, I spent a week getting used to singles again and updated my max to 160 kilograms and then 162.5 kilograms. That was my process from March through May. Pretty intense training, honestly. High load for sure. So I updated my 10 rep max by 5 kilograms, glutes up max by 10 kilograms, and power form max by 7.5 kilograms. I really pushed to my limits. And just 2 days after hitting 162.5 kilograms, my body started reacting, fever every time I lifted. If I assume this is overtraining, I probably need to take a decent break. I'm thinking about taking a full month or 2 off. I believe that's how long it will take for my nervous system and brain to recover from this level of stress. The first training session happened right after my max out, so I didn't think much of it. But the second session happened after a full week of rest, and the third session after about 2 more weeks off. Yet I couldn't even handle 120 kilograms without symptoms. That tells me this is pretty serious. so I'm planning for 1 to 2 months off. That doesn't mean doing nothing. I'll still spend at least 30 minutes a day on stretching, shadow benching, or light technique work with just the bar. So far, I've had no symptoms when lifting light, so that seems safe. I'll test with just the bar, then 50 kilograms, then 90 kilograms, and finally 100 kilograms. If I can get to 100 kilograms and my body handles it, I'll take that as a good sign. That might be around the 1 month mark. If my body gets used to 100 kilograms again, I'll gradually build up from there, sticking to a level that doesn't cause symptoms like fever or nerve pain. I do expect to lose some strength, but that's okay. I'll work on flexibility, mobility, and movement quality so I can regain strength quickly when I return. For reference, there was a time when my max was around 105 kilograms, and I got sick and couldn't bench for about 3 months. Back then, I could barely eat. I was surviving on 2 500 milliliter soda bottles a day. That's probably less than 1,000 kilocalories, maybe around 800 kilocalories daily. My body weight dropped from 79 kilograms to 59 kilograms, a loss of about 20 kilograms. My bench dropped to about 60 kilograms when I started back, but within a month, my max was basically back. So considering that, I'm not too worried. As long as I'm still doing stretching, shadow benching, or handling the bar regularly, I don't think the strength loss will be too drastic. It might take 2 months before I fully return, but I'm optimistic I'll be back to normal within 3 months. If any of you are experiencing similar symptoms or facing long breaks due to injury, I hope this can serve as a reference for you. Going forward, I'll be sharing how I'm managing things, how long it takes to return to previous strength levels, and more on this channel. So if you're interested, please subscribe and stay tuned. See you next time.